Welcome, my little couch potatoes, to the comfiest courtroom on the internet. I'm your host, Llama, and it's time for dramatic testimony, overruled objections, and absolutely unqualified opinions. So grab your snuggiest blanket, some delicious snacks, and get ready to watch court with your internet besties. This is Couch Court with Llama.
Hello, couch potatoes. Welcome back for part 2 of Nevada versus Devyn Michaels. That's right. We had a short afternoon because of the time difference and they started court late. But we're going to be coming back now. They should be back. I think she told the jury 5:15 or 5:15 my time. Hold on just a second. Sorry, little Llama needs my assistance for just a second. All right, I'm at least going to put up the court. I have to go run some assistance with little Llama real quick. Let me put my stuff up there. There we go. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Sorry. All right, I'm back, friends. Sorry about that. Ooh, listening to some music, are we? Oh, love that for us. Sorry about that. Little Llama needed my assistance with the TV. He was trying to watch George and Mandy's first marriage, but apparently the season 1 is done on Paramount. So he's watching Elspeth instead. Anyway, how is everybody doing? Welcome back. Let me say hi to everybody. Oh my gosh, I gotta scroll back so far. There's Savage. Hi, Savage. And Lainey. Welcome. There's Buff, Tracy, and Angie, and Kelly. Oh my gosh, everybody's here. Lady and Greg, did y'all bring snacks or dinner tonight? For those of us on the East Coast here. That's right, you guys. If you put an exclamation couch in the chat, you get this cute little thing that pops up claiming your seat on the Llama couch. Sorry, my phone. I'll tell you what. Just always something, isn't it? No, Mom, I can't. All right, there she is. Oh, girl, that shirt does not fit you well. Who is giving her clothes? Amber M, hello. Hope you're doing well, babe. Thanks for joining us. Just make sure I don't have it on mute. I don't. Welcome. So happy to see you here. There's Dave. Hey, Dave. Jennifer, listening on her commute. Hopefully that'll go. Who was commuting yesterday? I think it was Stinger Bell was commuting when the eggplant picture popped up on screen. There's Kelly with all the snacks for everyone. I got my snacks over here. I got some pretzels, the infamous nerd gummy clusters. I am ready to go. I got wine chilling in the fridge. So, and after court today, you guys, we'll be portaling you right over to Terry, True Crime and I's other show, True Crime and Wine Time, where tonight we're going to be discussing the disappearance of the Skelton brothers. Now, this happened in 2010, and you might be like, that's kind of an old case. What are you guys doing an old case for? Well, spoiler alert, their dad, who many believe, well, he was the last one with him, but he is getting out of prison at the end of this month. So, we're going to talk about it. Speaking of, hey, Stringer Bell.
There was some confusion earlier with a late marked exhibit, so I just want to clarify for the record. 112A is the shower photo that we referenced. We've moved for the admission of that because it's not admitted apparently.
No objection.
112A will be admitted.
To clarify the earlier record, the one I was representing was 168A.
No.
Is actually the backyard photo, and we would move to admit, actually that one is admitted. 168A for the record.
Okay.
There will be lots of rants.
291A. Oh, actually.
Yep. And
For
guys,
this witness,
be
we
sure to hit the
showed
like button
defense counsel
since it's a new stream.
following exhibits.
Oh, that's a cute picture.
239, 243, 265 through 268, 291A, 339, 344 through 352, 360 through 361, 363 through 368, 373 through 389, 394, and 436.
Okay.
Like number 10, everybody be like Lainey.
We will stipulate the admission of those exhibits.
Okay, those will be admitted pursuant to stipulation. Anything else outside of presence?
I don't believe so.
Nope, that covers it.
Okay.
And bring the jury. What is the QR code for? That's a good question. Let me see which one's up. Oh, that is for if you'd like to join the WT Media team. That is the application. We want mods, researchers, writers, video editors. And if you don't have experience in any of those, that's okay. As long as you take initiative and have the drive to learn, we'll take, anybody, because none of us knew what we were doing when we were starting. So if you'd like to join the team, you can scan that QR code, or one of the lovely mods will drop it in the chat. Oh, is it merch now? Did I say the wrong one? No, I
Please
didn't.
be seated, Your Honor. The jury's all present and accounted for.
I don't know. I guess it's a surprise. It's either merch or the application.
377-239, statement of outburst of Devyn Michaels. May the record reflect that Ms. Michaels is present with her attorney, deputy attorney on behalf of the state. You both rise to in the presence of our jury.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and officer, I just remind you, you are still under oath. Statement on your oath.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective, we left off hearing that recording of the first interview conducted with the defendant, Devyn Michaels, correct? Correct. If you recall, when that interview was conducted, had you and your team executed the search warrant on the Palladura home yet?
Not yet.
Okay. So did you have a general understanding of what you had in your scene?
Not that we know.
Okay. Did you know there was at least a decapitation?
Yes.
Okay. But anything else is kind of follows the interview?
Yes.
You then enter after a search warrant is authorized by a judge?
Yes,
And do you go into the scene itself?
I did.
Do you stay downstairs, upstairs, go through the whole thing?
I was in charge of searching a
We have
few
different ones,
locations.
Angie.
One was the upstairs master bedroom, one was the kitchen, another was that kind of middle room, dining room area, as well as like a converted living room section that was more of a bedroom.
And is the converted room where John's body was found?
That is correct.
Okay. So let's start with upstairs. Was there anything of evidentiary value found upstairs?
No.
Anything of potential evidentiary value found in the kitchen area?
No.
Anything found in that level where the kitchen is? Like, and then let's focus in on the converted room, John's room, I'm going to call it. When you went into John's room, did you get an overall perspective of the scene?
I did.
Did you go kind of look around and search different various items?
Yes.
Did you make any observations of the body itself?
I did.
And what were those?
That the body was laying, across the bed with obviously decapitated.
Did you notice a substantial amount of blood under his head? Or where his head should be, I'm sorry?
There's blood on the mattress, I believe, as well as on the floor.
Okay. Did you observe any blood on the ceiling, on the walls, or anything like that?
I did not notice anything else there, no.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been in homicide about 2 years now, correct?
Correct.
Prior to that, had you responded to violent scenes before, even if you weren't on homicide?
Of course.
What types of scenes?
I spent close to 9 years in K-9, so we went to a lot of different violent calls, obviously looking for suspects that had fled, obviously in patrol work and things of that nature. I was also an officer in charge for a while, so obviously responding to like your typical patrol calls, violent crime scenes, suicides, anything of that nature.
Okay. Did you make any general observations about the blood situation in this particular scene?
It looked a bit localized around the actual body.
What do you mean by localized?
As far as like the pool on the mattress as well as underneath, but nothing like you mentioned as far as like on the ceiling or anything like that.
Just so I can clarify, did you observe any blood staining or patterning or dragging or anything other than in that small area around the bed?
I did not.
Anywhere near the front door, the garage, the back door, anything like that?
No.
Okay. Did you observe any of the victim's personal belongings, such as his wallet, his truck keys, his phone, or his social security card within the scene?
I did not locate those items, no.
Did you observe any weapons that could have been used to do this crime?
Obviously, there's going to be kitchen knives and things of that nature, but nothing that was obvious.
Yeah. Nothing in the room?
Not that I located.
No kitchen knives in the room?
Not that I recall, no.
You're referring to the kitchen knives in the kitchen?
Yes, correct.
Any of those, did those have any apparent blood on them or look to be
No.
dirty, I guess? Okay. When, at some point in the investigation, do you get called out to execute a search warrant at a different residence?
I did.
Where was that?
That was going to be at, I believe, it's 5510 Porcupine Road.
Showing you what's been admitted as 8. Do you recognize this generally?
Yes.
And what does this appear to be?
That looks like, obviously at the top is going to be 5510 Porcupine Rim Street. And then down at the bottom appears to be the Paula Pure address in the city.
Okay. And the information on the left, does that look like just a general Google mapping?
Yes.
And it appears here that there are a couple different routes you can take, but overall it's about 32 to 36 minutes between the two via a vehicle.
Yeah, it looks like that appears to be what the route says.
And this particular route that's highlighted, it says 25.8 miles. Is that fair?
Yes.
If you can see that. And this Paladura scene within your jurisdiction in Henderson.
Yes.
Porcupine Rim scene is within Metro's jurisdiction, but as a result of you investigating a Henderson homicide, you go into that jurisdiction.
Yes.
Is that common for agencies to overlap during
Absolutely.
investigations? When was it that you responded to this Porcupine Rim scene, if you can recall?
I believe it was later in the evening on
I
the
wish I could
7th.
see it.
So we're still on the
The
set.
time difference.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
States 239.
Looks like it takes
already
about
admitted.
33
Is
minutes
this the Porcupine Rim address?
That appears
to get
be
from her house to his.
And there's two very apparent vehicles, but then there's one kind of tucked behind the van. Can you see that?
Yes.
Were you present for the searching of any of that?
For the overall residence, yes.
Okay. Were you present for the searching of the vehicles, or?
I believe the other detectives in our unit were actually
Okay.
searching those specific vehicles.
Okay. And you obviously are working in tandem with other detectives and crime scene investigators as
That's
well.
correct.
So I pulled a few photos. We'll have a crime scene investigator talk about the scene later, but I want to direct you to a few things. States 265, do you recognize this?
Yes.
What is this?
That appears to be the front entry room inside the residence.
Okay. Fair to say there's a shoe rack on the right side here?
Correct.
And did
This
you
is
find any
Devyn's
shoes
house,
that were
by the
black
way.
and white Nikes with a white Nike swoosh across the outside?
I did not locate anything.
Showing you states 268. Is this the same room?
Yes,
Do you see these samurai swords here?
I do.
Were those of something of interest that you guys were interested in?
Yes.
And did you observe those?
I do not recall actually pulling them out personally, but I did observe them in the room.
Okay. Did somebody pull them out and check if there was blood on them?
I assume so, yes.
Okay. But you wouldn't know that? You don't recall
I
that?
did not personally do that.
Okay. 267. I can't remember why I put this up. Do you see anything of evidentiary value found in this one?
I don't know why I put this up, but it's here. That's funny.
291A. Did you participate in any of the upstairs searching?
No.
Oh, okay. Do you recall ever having found you or anyone on your team black and white female-sized Nike shoes with a white swoosh along the side?
No, I don't recall it. No.
Did you participate heavily in the search of the main bedroom?
The downstairs master?
Yes.
Right, I did.
Tell us generally what your observations were of that bedroom.
Appeared to be like the largest bedroom in the house. That was downstairs. It was cluttered with lots of different clothes, papers, electronic devices, things of that nature.
And during the course of your search warrant, are you looking for particular items that are authorized by the judge?
We were.
And then if you come across something that was not originally expected or authorized, what is the procedure then?
Well, typically we'll obviously take note of it and identify it and contact the lead detective to determine what course to take from that point.
Okay. In this particular case, were you looking for any items associated with the victim?
We were.
And did you find some items associated with the
I
victim?
did.
Describe the search process and how you came upon those items.
So with the search process, just when executing a search warrant, we obviously let our crime scene analysts first enter. They take overall crime scene photos of the thing, or the way the condition of the room was before we enter. After they're done with that process, then we enter, and then we actually physically search for the items that are within the search warrant.
Okay. In this particular case, were you tasked with searching through the dresser in that master room?
Yes,
And did you find something of note?
I did.
What was that?
I found a black wallet, as well as a set of car keys.
And you know, before we get there, I'm going to show you
I didn't realize the
366. You recognize
keys
that?
was with the wallet.
You remember where that was found?
I believe that was on the bed.
373. What is this?
That looks like the same bag with a cell phone.
Okay, and then we have some items that appear to have been removed from that bag.
Appears to be, yes.
374, was that an item that was in that bag?
I believe so.
367, is that
I
another
believe that
item
was
that
the
was in
lovely
that bag?
Amos
Yes.
Timbers. But yay.
368, is that another item that was in that bag?
Yes.
Before the camera goes and broadcasts that to the world, can I borrow your mic? Fair to say that's a social security card, sir?
That appears to be yes.
Just for the record, I've redacted out the social security number, Judge. 368. Can you read into the record the name on that social security card?
The social security card says Johnathan James Willette.
Kind of weird that she would have that in her wallet. Kind of weird, but not necessarily. Sometimes I'll have elbow feet take like my stuff and like put it in his wallet if I'm not carrying, you know, whatever.
394.
And then I forget
Is that
it's in
the
there.
contents of that wallet?
It appears to be.
395. The rear side of the contents?
If you zoom out a little bit.
Oh,
Oh, that's
sorry.
true. It could have been ladies in gray too.
Yes.
God.
364, same wallet. This is the condition where it was actually found.
Yes.
363, same thing, just showing a different angle of how the social security card was found.
Yes.
You mentioned searching the dresser.
I did.
Showing you 344. You generally recognize this?
I do.
So tell us about the search and how you came upon this item, and was it in this position when you first found it?
So when I first found it, it was actually in the top left drawer of the dresser in the back right corner, buried under like women's lingerie, underwear, things of that nature. The items which were actually the wallet as well as the Chevrolet keys were in a series of bags. So like the wallet and the keys were in one bag, and that was tied off, and then that was in another bag, and so forth, I believe, for a total of 6 bags.
Why?
Ultimately,
What would
you
the point of that
you
be?
and other people document the process of unraveling those bags to see what's inside. 345, unraveling the bags.
Yes.
So weird.
346, unraveling the bags.
Yes.
347, is this the innermost bag?
I believe so.
And I note the person holding it is wearing gloves.
Yes.
Is that you, do you know?
More than likely, I believe it is.
Okay, anyone who touched this bag within the scene, would they have been wearing gloves?
Yes.
And what's the purpose of that?
Just basically prevent contamination of the crime scene as much as possible.
No 80s.
Ultimately, is that last bag opened?
I believe so. There could be one more. I don't.
Okay, let me show you 348. Ultimately, I mean, every bag is opened.
Yes.
And what is inside?
So that is a black wallet with Johnathan's driver's license in it, as well as a set of Chevrolet car keys.
349, a little closer image, it shows both those items.
Correct.
350, there's the truck keys in there.
Yes.
351, just a different angle of both items.
Correct.
And 352, that's the outside of the wallet.
Yes.
Ultimately, 436, that's photographed later, correct?
I believe that was taken by a crime scene analyst somewhere else.
360, what are we looking at here?
That would be the bed in that same bedroom.
And what is this item here?
That is a blue striped dress.
361, same dress.
Correct.
Appears there's a notebook next to it.
Yes.
Did that notebook contain anything?
I don't know if it was that specific notebook, but there were various, I believe, notebooks in the area.
Were
Why
there
do you guys
various
think they did
notebooks
that with
and
the
writings
wallet?
in the area?
Yes.
335, is that shows some of those writings?
Yes.
336, is that zoomed in on the one in the center of the photograph?
Yes.
I lost everything for you and you leave me at my lowest. I will never understand how it is so easy to hurt me, but you clearly do it so well. And today has been officially 6 weeks. I hate my fucking life. Oh.
338, is that another one of those writings? This one like crumpled up?
Yes.
Crumpled up. Previous surgery.
339,
I have
another
blood
one
in
of
my
those
lungs.
writings?
Yes.
Oh, it's to Devyn. I will love you forever. My dearest love, I can't begin to tell you now how grateful I am for you. There's nowhere I would rather be than by your side. Something make each day a blessing. The moment you held me in your arms,
337, another one of those writings?
Yes.
Don't worry, we're going to go back and get screenshots, and maybe I'll go over them tomorrow. Overdose.
376, another one of those writings?
Yes.
And this starts with, so it has been officially 3 days since Devyn and I have stopped talking. He doesn't really seem too phased.
Yes.
I shouldn't have to
337,
beg
another
for
one of these
attention
writings.
or affection.
Correct.
378, again another.
Yes.
379, another.
Yes.
Oh, we are so going to be reading
380.
these tomorrow.
Another.
Yes.
381, another.
Yes.
382, another.
Correct.
Oops.
383, another.
Yes.
384, another. Oops.
Yes.
385, another.
Yes.
386, another.
Yes.
387, another.
Yes.
388, another.
Yes.
It seems like more of a
And
diary.
389, the last one.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one starts with broken heart again, another lesson learned.
Yes.
The following day, did you participate in writing a search warrant for some call detail records?
I did.
Do you remember which call detail records you were searching for?
That would have been the Devyn's phone number, which was the 702-677-4430 number.
Okay, and call detail records come from the cell phone company, right?
Correct. And in that case, I believe it was AT&T.
And other detectives will be better suited to talk about the contents of those, not yourself.
Correct.
You helped obtain them?
Yes.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
Ross?
Yes, thank you.
All right, let's see what the defense has for us.
Detective, in reference to the writings that I'm gathering here from counsel's desk, you would testify that these were recovered at the Porcupine residence?
Were those ones that we were just going over?
Correct. Several of them, correct?
Correct.
You reviewed these in preparation for your testimony today?
I did.
Would you agree with me that these appear to be entries into a diary, perhaps?
I'd say like a journal of sorts.
Okay, fair enough. And did these writings contain dates that you recall?
I don't recall seeing dates.
Okay. So in reference to the contents of these, you can't give us any indication as to when they were written?
No.
Months before, years before, fair to say?
That's fair assessment.
Are you aware of how long the occupant, or first of all, who owned this home?
Legally, I don't know exactly who owned the home, but I was told that Devyn and Debbie are there.
Okay. Are you aware as to how long Devyn had been living there?
I am not aware of that.
Years, months, no idea. In fact, you have no idea where these were authored, correct?
No.
Were you aware of what was going on between the two houses? The Palmadura house and the Porcupine house? Occupants, what was going on, a move? Were you aware of what was going on?
Yes.
And based upon your knowledge, Johnathan Willette was moving into the Porcupine residence,
Yes.
correct?
That's what we were under the impression.
And that was the residence where you found the wallet, the keys, social security card, correct? You'd agree with me that it appears that items had been moved in, they were out of place. I mean, the place was kind of messy and looked like a move.
It did.
Okay. Did you have, when you were at the Palmadura house, that house was in disarray as well, correct?
I think that's a fair assessment.
Fair to say that it appeared that the occupants, particularly Johnathan, was moving.
Yes.
In reference to the interview that you had had with Devyn, that interview began approximately 12 p.m.,
I believe so.
and that was at the Palmadura house, correct?
Yes. In the general area. It wasn't inside the house, obviously, but it was out front.
Okay. Fair to say that she had been summoned to the house and she had come.
She did.
Had there been a discussion that neighbors had called her or something that she knew something had occurred?
I got the phone number from one of the neighbors, and then I made phone contact with Devyn.
Okay. And asked her if she would come and speak to you,
Yes.
and she came willingly,
Yes.
and she appeared to cooperate with you.
Yes.
She obviously was made aware that something bad had happened,
Yes.
and it concerned Johnathan.
Yes.
And she came and freely and voluntarily answered your questions.
She did.
Thank you. I have no further questions. Oh, actually, one more question. You were given the map, the distance between the two houses. Do you have that, counsel?
Yeah, right. I have one map, it's probably under this.
Do you recall that it was a Google map in the distance?
So that would internet map, yes.
There was a time on that map, correct?
I believe there was.
Now, when Google calculates that time takes into account the time of day, correct?
I'm not sure with Google, I'm more familiar with Apple Maps, like as far as on your iPhone, I know that it will typically account for traffic conditions.
So the time, perhaps, if that's pulled in the middle of the day, would be a different time, let's say. That
Yes,
it were
Jennifer. Yes.
Pulled at 2:30
Same
or 3
attorneys.
in the morning.
Hypothetically, yes.
I mean, fair to say that those distances and that, well, the distance would remain the same, but the time to go from point A to point B would presumably be less in the middle of the night versus
Yes.
in the middle of the day. And when you pulled that, or when that was prepared, are you aware of what time of day that was?
I am not.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Nope, thank you.
Fair point.
Does the jury have any questions for this one? Okay, seeing no response, the deputy are excused. Thank you very much for your testimony here today.
The state calls Devyn Willette.
Devier is taking the stand. What? Oh, you guys, get those snacks ready.
Please solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. You have a seat. Sir, will you please state your full name and then spell it for the record?
Devyn Michaels,
Oh.
Can you spell that for us, sir?
DEVIERWILLETTE.
Thank you, sir. Whenever you're ready, sir.
Devyn, how old are you?
29, sir.
Oh, he's going to be on the stand tomorrow, too. But 29, he said. Okay.
What is your birthday?
March 1st, 1996.
What was your relationship to Johnathan Willette?
I was his son.
Do you have siblings?
I have 2 younger sisters.
And what's your mom's name?
Arminthia Saints.
Do you remember or know when your dad and Arminthia split?
I was probably 1 years old.
When they split and you were 9 years old, where were you guys living generally? Was it here in Vegas?
I don't remember.
Did you go back and forth between Vegas and California?
Yes, sir.
Quite a bit in your life?
Never summer.
Okay. Did there come a point in time where your dad moved here and stayed in Vegas pretty much permanently until his death?
Yes, sir.
And where was he living in the latter years of his life?
On Paul Georgia.
Is that with your grandma?
Yes, sir.
Is that Yoko?
Yes, sir.
Did there come a point in time when you were introduced to a woman by the name of Nikki?
Yes, sir.
And ultimately, you end up getting married to Nikki. And we have a lot to unpack here. I'm sorry to air your dirty laundry, but we have to ask a lot of questions about this, okay? When you first met Nikki, was she dating or in a relationship with your dad?
They were dating at the time.
They were dating at the time?
Yes, sir.
Where were they living at the time, if you know?
I don't know.
When your dad and Nikki were together, did they eventually have children?
Yes, sir.
And is that your 2 sisters?
Yes, sir.
We don't need to say their names, but what are their approximate ages? Okay, that's okay. I just need an approximate. So are they right now under the age of 13?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So were you in kind of living with Dad or anything like that when he was with Nikki?
Yes, sir.
And when they had the children together, were they living together?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember where that was?
Not the numbers, but it was on Blue Magic Street.
Blue Magic? Is that here in
Fun
Vegas?
street name.
Before the girls were born, did there come a point in time where you and Nikki became intimate? Or was it after?
It was after.
Okay. So girls are born. Do Nikki and your dad stay together after the girls are born?
Yes, sir.
And for how long did they stay together before they split? When eventually, after the girls are born, do you and Nikki enter into an intimate relationship?
Yes, sir.
About how old were you at that time?
19.
19 years old?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how old she was at the time?
Yes, sir.
How was it that that relationship kind of started?
I don't know, Dario. Probably not. I don't know.
Do you remember who kind of, I don't mean to be crass, but like who made the first move or any of that? Okay, it was a long time ago, right?
Yes, sir.
While you were intimate with Nikki initially, was she still dating your dad? Or in a relationship with your dad?
Yes, sir.
Does it embarrass you to admit that in front of a bunch of strangers?
Yes, sir.
Somebody's phone is vibrating.
Did you continue being intimate with Nikki for an extended period of time?
Yes, sir.
Do you know if your dad found out about the intimate part of your relationship?
No, sir.
And I'm not going to say it a bunch of times, but when I say intimate, I mean sexual. We agree there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did there come a point in time where you all three lived under the same roof?
I mean,
And
he
was that
is
the
the T
magic
though,
house?
Lady Gray.
Yes, sir.
And is that when the relationship, intimate relationship started out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, tell me if you can remember, when is it that any of you three move out of Blue Magic? Like, we need to get a sequence of events. Did you move out first? Did they split and move in different places? Or can you remember that for me?
I moved out there.
Where did you move to?
I moved back to California.
And where did you stay in California, if you remember?
187 Poppy Circle.
Was that with other family?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Eventually, do you move back to Vegas?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember what year that was?
No, sir.
Okay. When you do move back to Vegas, after moving to Cali, you move back to Vegas, do you move in with Yoko at the Paladura address?
No, sir.
Where did you move that time?
Back to the Blue Magic House.
Okay. Did you then leave back to California for a second time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And while I stepped one step too far ahead, when you moved back to Vegas the first time, you moved into Blue Magic. Who was living in Blue Magic?
My father, Nikki, Tanaj,
The two girls?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was there some kind of discussion with Nikki at that time about being pregnant?
Yes, sir.
Describe that for the jury.
I moved back to California, and I was told that she was pregnant with my child, and if I didn't move back, she was going to have that child.
So she tells you this?
He told me that.
So you had gotten out of the situation back in Cali, and you, I presume, talked to her over the phone or something?
Yes, sir.
She tells you she's pregnant, it's yours, and unless you come back, she is going to have the child.
Yes, sir.
What did you do in response to that?
I moved back.
Did you witness her go to a doctor?
No, sir.
Did she tell you anything about that child she claimed was yours?
She told me that she had gotten an abortion.
But you never saw any documentation or
No, sir.
anything like that? Okay. So you're pulled back into the situation, you're back here in Vegas, and then you move out again to California.
Yes, sir.
When you moved back to California that time, do you remember your dad, Nikki, and the girls still staying at Blue Magic together?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then you go back to California, and when is it that you return?
A couple of years after that.
A couple of years?
I believe it was 4
Okay.
years after.
And you spoke with Ms. Griffith and I last night, right?
Yes, sir.
We talked about, I'm going to ask you some questions, and if you don't know a date, you estimate, but don't guess. We're in agreement there, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you're doing your best with the dates?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you moved back this time, were the girls living with Nikki and just Nikki?
Yes, sir.
Where was your dad living?
Paul Bear Drive.
Where did you move to?
Paul Bear Drive.
So you lived with your dad?
Yes, sir.
Who else lived in the home?
Yoko and Yoshida and
Is Yoshida Yoko's partner, friend, boyfriend?
yes, sir.
They're elderly folks.
Yes, sir.
When you lived with your dad, how was your relationship at that time?
It was fine. I worked with him.
You worked with him too?
Yes, sir.
Doing what?
Anything and everything.
Okay.
From moving houses to setting up bathrooms.
Moving houses, setting up backyards? Okay. So let me ask you kind of a general question before we move on.
Yes.
Is it fair
sorry,
for
I
me to say that your dad was in and out of your life growing up?
Yes, sir.
Did you have a strong relationship with your dad as you're getting into your late teens, early 20s, or was it just kind of a, that's my dad and don't see him too often, or what?
No, I love my father, so we have a strong relationship.
Okay. Did there come a point in time when you're living with him at Paladura and working that you guys have some disagreements about work and other stuff?
Yes, sir.
Would you consider your dad to have been a hard-headed person?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was he an opinionated guy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you ever tell your dad that you had been having a sexual relationship with the father of his other children?
The mother, you mean?
The mother. Jesus, I said father. Yeah.
No, sir.
I apologize.
So
Knowing
Dad
your
didn't
dad as
know.
you did, if he had known you were having a sexual relationship with his mother of his children, is he the type of guy that would have just said nothing and let it go?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Really?
So you never tell him. I don't want to ask an obvious question, but why not?
I couldn't build up the courage to do it.
Okay. Eventually, do you move out of the Paladura?
Just 1 second, Mr. Dunn. You can't hear him? Okay. And I'm sorry, sir. You're one who's a thank you so much.
There you go, everybody.
See if we can figure out.
His answer was
Can you just like say test? for me?
no.
Oh, test.
Can you hear him better now? Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Giovanni.
Thank you, Judge.
Nobody can be held in contempt.
All right. I'm going to keep that one in the back pocket. So you eventually move out of Paladura.
Yes, sir.
Dad stays, Yoko and Yoshida stay.
Yes, sir.
Where do you move?
To 5510 Porcupine Ridge Street.
Did you move in with Nikki?
Yes, sir.
And I've been saying Nikki. Did you know Nikki by several different names?
Tracy, Devyn, and Nikki. Those three.
Tracy, Devyn, and Nikki?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Devyn spelled Devyn? Devyn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you,
Was it
after
Devyn?
moving out of Paladura and into Porcupine Rim, resume your sexual relationship with Nikki?
Yes, sir.
Were your sisters living there, or was there some kind of custody arrangement? Or was that later?
That was later.
Okay. So when you first move into Porcupine Rim, can you give us a date, a year, an approximate year, anything like that? And if you need to use the date of your dad's death, August 7th, 2023, as a point of reference counting back.
He said because he was a coward.
Probably 2020.
Probably 2020?
Actually, I don't know.
Okay. So you live at, can we agree that you live at Porcupine Rim at least a couple of years with Nikki?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And during this time frame, I'm going to ask you some very specific questions. Did there come a point in time when the family court became involved in the custody of the children?
Yes, sir.
Did Nikki lose custody of the children?
Yes, sir.
Was this before or after you married, if you remember?
After.
So after you married Nikki is when the custody thing happened.
Yes, sir.
Prior to that, were the girls living with you and Nikki at Porcupine Rim for however long you were living there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Dad, to your knowledge, is still living across town?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He doesn't know.
When Nikki lost custody of the children, did they move back in with your dad?
Yes, sir.
And to your knowledge, did they live out at the Paladura address?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how long they lived at Paladura with your dad?
No, sir.
Okay. Did there come a point in time in the summer months, just before your father's death, that the girls moved back in with you guys, you and Nikki at Porcupine Rim?
Yes, sir.
Did they stay over the summer?
Yes, sir.
Did they have bedrooms there?
Yes, sir.
And where were you sleeping at the time?
The master bedroom downstairs.
With Nikki?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were there times that you slept on the couch?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did your sexual, intimate relationship continue throughout the course of this time period?
Yes, sir.
I hate to air out your laundry, like I said, but I just have to ask it. When you're having this sexual relationship with Nikki, is it a tumultuous relationship?
I don't know the definitions of it.
Okay. Is there a lot of kind of arguing and back and forth, or you describe it for me?
There was arguing back and forth.
Were there times in which you yourself were trying to get out of this relationship?
Yes, sir.
Describe that. How many times, what's going on in your head at this time?
That when I tried to fill some shoes that I had no business film.
Whose shoes?
My father's.
Okay.
I'm sorry, if we just get a little bit closer to me. It's okay.
So you believe you said that you were trying to fill some shoes that you had no business filling. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
As a result of that, did you start to get a little uncomfortable and attempt to leave a couple of times?
Yes, sir.
Did there ever come a point in time, and I want to be precise here, prior to you learning of your dad's death, that you learned he was going to move in to the Porcupine Rim address?
Prior, no, sir.
So you didn't know he was going to move in prior?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you learn that at some point after?
I learned after the death when my grandmother was telling me about it.
Okay. Did you talk to your grandma like on the 7th?
The day after, yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to now bring you to August 6th, okay, 2023. On that day, were you living at the Porcupine Rim address?
Yes, sir.
Were the girls living there?
Yes, sir.
Was Nikki living there?
Yes, sir.
Do you know or remember what you did during the day on August 6th?
I woke up and I went to work, and I got a phone call from my grandfather saying that my dad was critically injured, and
Okay, let me clarify here. I'm talking about the day before you were notified.
I went to work.
Okay, so you work on the 6th.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what Nikki and the girls were doing that day?
No, sir.
Did there come a point in time after you get home from, oh, and I should ask you, did you drive a work van?
Yes, sir.
Is that the white one that was parked in front of the home?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's another vehicle out front of the home. Whose was that? Not the Nissan Armada, but the little sedan.
Oh, that was my vehicle, sir.
Was that operable at the time?
Yes, sir.
And did you drive it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The night of August 6th, you get home from work. Do you remember a point in time where you saw your dad at the Porcupine Rim address?
Yes, sir.
Describe that for the jury.
So I just got off of work. I was helping with the girls with their homework, and I believe I went into the garage and I saw my father bringing over a bunk bed and a desk for the girls, and his back was turned to me, so I closed the garage door.
So you didn't talk to him?
No, sir.
How was your relationship at that point in time?
We hadn't talked for a while.
At some point prior to that, had he learned that you had actually married Nikki?
Yes, sir.
How was that or if you had a conversation about it?
He sent me a text message asking me, or saying, I don't know what you're doing, but it's not right. And I responded with half of what you know was true and the other half isn't.
His dad just found out that him and Devyn.
So your dad clearly knew you were formally married.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember the date you got married?
No, sir.
Did you ever get divorced?
No, sir.
Is that something you would like to do?
After this, yes.
Okay, once this trial is done?
Yes.
Okay. That night when you see your dad moving the girls' stuff into the garage, you don't talk?
No, sir.
Okay. What did you do after that? Did you just go back inside or what?
I went back inside and I continued watching the movie with the girls.
Okay. Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury kind of how the night progressed from there.
So I continued watching the girls, watching the movie with them, and Nikki had told me that she was going to go help John move some things, and I said okay, so I stayed at the house. We continued watching the movie, and I believe when the movie was over, I had put them down to bed, and I myself went to sleep.
Do you remember where you put them down to bed?
Yes, they had individual rooms upstairs. So I took them upstairs, I had them change into their pajamas, and then went to bed.
Okay. And then where would you have gone to sleep that
I
night?
said they were.
Downstairs in the master bedroom.
Do you remember texting Nikki saying something to that effect?
I remember texting her, letting her know that I had put the girls to sleep, and then I myself was going to sleep because I was working next day.
You had worked the next day?
Yes, sir.
What time did you typically work?
I believe it was 8 a.m. or 8:30.
Okay. So I'm not going to show you a text message, but you remember sending a text message. Do you
Yes, sir.
remember the time of that text message?
I believe it was 10 p.m.
Okay. And so after the text message is sent, do you remember receiving a response from Nikki, or you just go to bed?
I just went to bed.
And if I didn't ask you, where did you go to sleep?
Downstairs in the master bedroom.
The normal place you sleep.
Yes, sir.
When you went to bed, was Nikki home?
No, sir.
That would be why you sent her the text, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember waking up at any point after falling asleep that night?
I remember waking up around 2 to her getting into bed, and since I work early in the morning, I didn't ask anything of her. I just looked over, I saw her, and I went back to sleep.
This was, to you, a normal night, right? You would have no reason to ask her anything, right?
No, because if they were moving things around, if they were just working through the night to try to get it all done.
Okay. When you looked over, did you see anything out of sorts about her? I mean, I understand it was a normal night for you, but like, did you observe anything that was different?
No, sir.
Did you go back to sleep after that around 2?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember when you woke up the next morning?
Yes, sir.
When was that?
Around 6 a.m.
Tell the jury how that morning progressed.
I woke up around 6 a.m. and I got ready for work. I'm usually the first one that's up, so I got dressed and I went to work.
Do you remember seeing Nikki or the girls or anything that morning after you woke up?
No, sir.
Okay. And do you remember where your job was that day by chance?
I worked at Hometronics, so I was all over the place in the city.
Okay. And when you're working, do you drive the, work van?
Yes, sir.
When you're on your off days, do you drive the work van or the car?
The car.
Okay. So on this day, can we presume that you're driving the work van if you're doing a job?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I believe you said you work normally around 8:30.
Yes, sir.
At some point in time, do you get a phone call?
Yes, sir.
Describe that for the jury.
It was a phone call from my grandfather saying that my father was critically injured and he's in the hospital.
Okay. Okay. When your grandfather tells you that, what do you do?
I proceeded to call my boss to take off work.
And did you learn a little more information from another family member after that?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
That he had passed away, and I didn't get any information on how he actually passed away. It was just that he passed.
Okay. So initially, the first call, critically injured, but you tell your work, hey, I gotta go. You learn after that he's passed.
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess where do you go from work?
Straight on.
What do you do when you go home?
Started drinking.
Did you drink back then?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember, before you started drinking, if the girls or Nikki were home when you arrived home?
No, sir.
You don't remember, or they were not?
They weren't home.
They were not home? Okay. On that date, August 7th, do you continue drinking after learning of your dad's death?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember the next time you saw Nikki?
I don't. I drank myself to sleep for the next couple of days.
Okay. So is it fair to say those couple days, after learning that on August 7th and maybe into the 8th, maybe the 9th, you're drinking pretty consistently?
Yes, sir.
Is it a bit of a blur for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At some point in time, do you remember police coming to the Porcupine Rim home?
Yes, sir.
And did they come inside and they do a full search and everything?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember what day that was?
No, sir.
Okay. I want to ask you some questions about items in your home. At the time you were working for Hometronics, correct?
Yes, sir.
You had the work truck.
Yes, sir.
I presume you had some tools.
Yes, sir.
Were there times in which you had saws and stuff like that?
Yes, sir.
Do you normally carry a saw, or is that something you use for particular jobs, or how does that work?
I had a drywall saw inside my bag along with a screwdriver, a flathead, an electric drill, measuring tape, leveler.
Okay. Is there a safe inside your home, or was there back then?
Yes, sir.
What was that safe used for?
Guns.
Did you have guns?
Yes, sir.
How many do you have, or did you have back then?
3.
You're allowed legally to possess guns, right?
Yes, sir.
So you have 3 guns. Are they handguns?
Yes, sir.
And do you remember having them on August 7th, or was this general around that time frame?
We've owned the guns for a while.
Okay. Did your dad have guns too?
No, sir.
Okay. So you had guns, your dad didn't?
No, sir.
At least to your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, try to give us any memory you have, but you don't remember the next time you saw Nikki, but you did see Nikki back at the home, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember her being there when the police came?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so at least when we can figure out from the police when they showed up, you know you saw her then.
Yes, sir.
When is it that you have any conversation with her about your dad's passing?
I believe it was the night that I found out, I was drinking heavily, and I believe she came home and said, "I'm sorry that this happened," and I kind of just wanted to be alone.
Okay. You eventually, during the course of that search of your home, you're interviewed by police, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that was recorded.
Yes, sir.
At some point in time, you give a lengthier interview, correct? An interview.
Oh, yes, sir.
And with that, you understand that was recorded as well.
Yes, sir.
You ultimately learn that Nikki is arrested, correct?
Yes, sir.
When is it, if you remember, that you learn she's arrested for the murder of your dad?
I want to say a week afterwards, maybe 2 weeks.
Okay. So somewhere in the range of a week or 2 weeks after the actual death.
Yes, sir.
In the interim, before she gets arrested and after your dad's death, do you remain at Porcupine Rim?
Yes, sir.
Do you question what happened to your dad?
Yes, sir.
Are there a lot of kind of unanswered questions you have during that time frame?
Yes, sir.
Did there come a point in time after her arrest that she contacted you from the detention center?
Yes, sir.
And Judge, we would move to admit 631, which is a recording of that contact.
Any objection?
No objection.
Thank you.
6:31 will be a minute.
Permission to publish.
Yes, Commissioner.
Free call from an incarcerated individual has entered the detention center. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Where the... What would you like to talk about? There's some things about you, and they're not very pleasant.
So they're holding their bloody book for evidence. Because they don't have any evidence. They have no murder weapon, no motive, no nothing. They're holding here to find it.
But you should have been restarted.
What?
You sound like you should have been released already.
I haven't gone to court yet. I go to court tomorrow.
It's very hard to understand.
I'm not doing this out for you. CPS at the girls. With my grandfather. I could get him fingerprinted so they can go with him, and he might go with you right here. So will you get released tomorrow?
I should. That's what I'm hoping for. And that's literally what's going on. They have
Did you
absolutely,
ask what's going on?
yes. They
Yes.
have absolutely nothing on me. They said, they showed me a picture of a bottle of scrub cleaning detergent. And they said, you have one in your house. And I'm like, okay. They're like, well, this was used at his house. Like, you're fucking joking, right? Like, that's literally what they showed me.
If you're getting released tomorrow, I'll leave the door.
California.
Hello, very funny. I'm because I'm a belief. All the news articles about you says you're not bleeding.
Oh, what about?
There's a lot of news articles about you and what happened.
News article?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you can get released. I still don't know what to believe. I'm sorry. But, yes, I'm going to have one. And if you are getting released tomorrow, I'll leave it open. If not, then I have to do something with them.
Yeah, I know. I can understand anything. I know. I'll try to strip the audio this weekend and see if we can get something better for you.
Okay.
You just presentation released a news article about me and how literally nothing.
The one was so bad and points that you did it. The second one was very graphic and still points that you did it. Like I said, if you're going to court and they release you, I still don't know what to believe and I can't be here.
Devier, you mentioned a couple of news articles there.
Yes, sir.
When was it that you first learned of the graphic nature of what happened to your dad after his death?
I believe it was a day prior to the phone call that I was sent an article from the Las Vegas News explaining what had happened to my father and that she was involved.
Okay. At the end of that phone call, somebody hung up. Who did that?
She was.
When you were telling her, I'm leaving to California, I'll leave the dog, did you already plan when all this kind of madness started to break it off?
Yes, sir.
Was that essentially what the jury just heard, your breakup conversation?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember if you ever talked again after that?
We never talked to me after that.
Okay. Look at me. Did you kill your father?
No, sir.
Did you have any involvement in killing your father?
No, sir.
Did you have any involvement in what happened to his body after?
No, sir.
Pass witness.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a moment of cross-examination. We're going to take a brief recess before we get cross-examination of this witness. During this recess, you must not discuss or communicate with anyone, including fellow jurors, in any way regarding this case or its merits, either by voice, phone, email, text, internet, or other means of communication or social media. You must not read, watch, listen to any news or media accounts or commentary about this case. You must not do any research, such as consulting dictionaries, using the internet, or using reference materials. You must not make any investigation, test the theory of the case, recreate the aspect of the case, or in any other way investigate or learn about the case on your own. You must not form or express any opinion regarding this case, so it's not submitted to you. Ladies and gentlemen, 3:25 will be in recess until 3:40.
All rise for the jury.
All right, so they're going on a 15-minute break. Turn this booster off so I'm not all garbled. Sorry about the audio, guys. I have it turned up as far as I can on my end. As a matter of fact, it's blaring much louder on my end than what you guys can hear. So, I still had a hard time understanding that phone call, but from what I did understand of the phone call was that she was arrested, she was in jail, she's talking about how they don't have anything on her, something about uh, I don't know if they're gonna argue about something else, so they're excusing the witness, so I don't know. But anyway, she said, "Oh, they told me about something about some cleaner and said I had this thing at my house, but they don't have anything. They don't have a murder weapon and something else I don't remember." To which mostly all I heard from him was him asking when she was gonna get released from jail because the lawyers are talking about something, but not they're having a minute. That he did not want to he was gonna go back to California, but he just wanted out, I guess. I don't know. I'll try to pull that audio over the weekend and see if I can clean that up at all. And if so, then we can release that. As far as him talking on the stand, I don't understand why it's so hard to hear on a phone. I mean, I pulled it up on a phone. I understand that it's hard to hear, but like on my end, with my headphones on the computer, it's actually pretty easy to understand him for the most part. So it's kind of weird that it's not coming through as loud for you guys. But earlier, some of you were asking some questions of like, well, what were the questions as his answers? And so he was, I don't know. I have a lot of questions here. We'll see what the defense does. Because he doesn't really remember much of when they got together, when they got married, doesn't even know how old his sisters are. It's all kind of weird. I mean, I get it, he's young, but like, you kind of like raised your sisters. You were basically their stepdad, and you don't know how old they were? Okay, bro. Okay. Also, his dad dies and she's in jail. What about your sisters, bro? I'm just saying. Anyway, so he said that John, his dad, had no idea about their relationship, Devyn and Devier's relationship at all, which I'm so confused how that can be the case. Because so they get married in 2021. Devyn, whatever, get married in 2021. They have pictures. We saw those pictures in the opening statements. And he said his dad didn't know that they got married. And then that's when like custody stuff happens. Now, I don't know the full story of the custody stuff, but what I do know for sure, though, before this trial started, there was arguments before the court of whether or not they were allowed to bring up child abuse charges that Devyn had. Those were like legal criminal charges of child abuse. I believe there were bruises on one of the girls, and when talking about it, she said something about like, yeah, I did hit them. I hit them with a belt or something along those lines. But the judge has decided that that cannot come into trial in regards to the kids. All they can say is that there was a custody issue, probably some 404B thing, prior bad acts sort of thing there. Now, I think 2 days after John dies is when she's supposed to have a hearing or sentencing for the child abuse case that she had separately, but I can't entirely recall. But anyway, so apparently John doesn't know that those two are together and married somehow, has no idea, which is weird because then how did they explain to him about Devier living at the house? I mean, how did they keep it a secret when he was living there and helping raise the girls? I don't know. I have lots of questions there. And then I believe, again, there's an issue with audio, so I apologize if I am wrong about what I thought I heard. But it sounded to me like he didn't know Devyn didn't know that John was moving in with Devyn and the girls. Okay. He had no idea. Well, you also said that you knew that they were moving stuff. Like, how did you? They said it looked like people moved into her house. So I'm a little confused there about how John wouldn't have known. Then John finds out that the two of them are married, and apparently is fine with it, I guess. How many of you believe that? Like, let's be honest here. Those of you that have kids. All right. How would you feel in this situation? Like, I don't know. It's so weird. So I have a lot of questions still for Devyn. He also said, oh, you guys asked this question earlier. So he said, oh, I went to bed around 10 o'clock. All right. That would have been the time that Devyn and John arrived back at his parents' house, timeline-wise. And that he put the girls to bed. They watched a movie. He put the girls to bed. And then he went to sleep in the master bedroom. Because your dad's moving in and that's where you want to fall asleep. Okay. Weird. But if I remember right, the text that they showed in opening statements, I'm pretty sure he said, I'm going to bed. The girls are in the living room. I am pretty sure that that's what that text said, which is not what he just said on the stand, that he put them in their beds and whatnot. So that's a little confusing. Then he says he woke up. It was probably 2 a.m. Devyn had just gotten home and crawled into bed. Now, again, this is just based on memory, so I could be wrong or I could be off. But I'm pretty sure Devyn was seen at CVS at like 2:30 in the morning. Not 100%. I'm pretty sure it was 2:30 because there's this gap of time between the time she said she left the house to going to CVS and then going home. Also, they didn't ask him how he knew it was 2 in the morning. Did he look at his phone? He said, oh, I just woke up and I looked over and there she was. And then I just went back to sleep. How did you know what time it was? I'm just saying. I have questions. So, and then when he found out what happened to his dad, he then spent the next couple of days drinking a lot, himself into a stupor, which I also find, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, a parent dying and in this way, I mean, I'm not judging him for getting drunk for 2 days. I probably would too. But also, if the defense wants you to believe their story, that could be drinking to, not think about acts you've done. So I'm just saying that could go either way for me. I think, I would probably do the same. But yeah, he didn't really give a lot of good answers for anything. There's a lot of like, oh no, I don't know. So we'll see. I thought they'd have him on the stand a lot longer than this. But maybe they wanted to be careful, what they ask on direct. So defense can't, ask too many questions. But I feel like the defense is going to call them back when it's their case. So I don't think he's going away. Guilty conscience? Could be. Also, it just could be grief. I mean, again, it's the way his father's body, I mean, that's really hard to process, I'm sure. So it could be either one in my book. But let's see. I just don't, because he was asked like, oh, well, why didn't you ever tell your dad about your relationship? And he was like, because I didn't have the courage to. And they're like, well, how do you think your dad would have reacted had he known that, you had this relationship and you guys got married? And he was like, oh no, I don't think he would have been. Well, they asked if he would be like upset about it. And he was like, no, I don't think he would be upset. Okay. I think I would. I just, again, I don't know how they kept their relationship a secret like that, their marriage a secret like that from him, especially since they were in family court. You know, family court wants to know all your business. And then if they were investigated by CPS for abuse claims, they'd know he lived there and they want to know that relationship. So I'm just very intrigued how they kept this like super secret. And apparently, Devyn had a habit of leaving Vegas to go live in Cali. But I know that Vegas isn't like that far from Cali, so it's probably not a big deal. Their borders are fairly close, I think. So, but he kept seeming to go to, oh, they brought up earlier, some of the first questions they asked him was, so like when he left home before he got together, no, he was already hooking up with Devyn. He leaves Vegas, moves to California. Devyn tells him he needs to come back because apparently she's pregnant with this child, and that if he doesn't come back, then she's going to have the child. I don't know. I don't know at all about that. They didn't really show any proof of those messages. That's kind of just hearsay. So, and then he ended up moving back. So I don't know. I have lots of questions about their bizarre family dynamics, if you will. Lady Grace says, and he might feel guilty that he contributed to his father's murder by his actions with Devyn, but he didn't have anything to do with the murder. Could be, you know, if their last few conversations weren't good ones, you know, yeah, you know, feeling regret or something like that. Sam says, I'm still having curiosity around the suspicion of them both being in on it. But then again, I still have each of them as individual suspects as options. I mean, I do too. I don't know. I don't know with this one. You know, because there's different motives. I don't want to say valid motives because then it sounds like I'm validating murder. I'm just saying motives that I can see how we would get from point A to, you know, point B. So, I don't know. I mean, Devyn, you know, doing it. Okay. So she'd get full custody of the girls. If he's murdered, right, both the girls get survivor benefits, which can be quite a decent monthly check. So that could be another motivation. I'm trying to think of another. I also find it just very confusing that John would move back in and be like, yeah, we're not going to be together, but we're just going to raise. Like, where was John going to be staying? If all of a sudden it came out, he said he didn't even know his dad was supposed to be moving in until after the murder, which I don't, again, understand how that's possible. Because when you came home from work that day, you didn't notice like his shit everywhere. You just didn't think about it, or was there another room that John was? We have not heard the sleeping arrangements. So Lady and Grace says, I don't know at this point either. Still not convinced. Tracy says, but it sounds like he was letting the girls stay with her without the court order. Yes, it does sound. He let her have them over the summer. You know, they were working. Usually family courts, like, well, if you can work something out amicably, fine. But did his mother put him out? I don't know. I have so many questions that we're not getting answers for. All right. They have her. Right. And then so they all know her as Nikki. Okay. Remember, she has Tracy, Nikki, Devyn, and I think she has another name too. I can't remember. All these different names. It's weird. But also, why would she? One, my biggest question is, what is the point of wrapping a wallet and a set of keys in 6 grocery plastic bags. Does anybody have any idea of why that would be something you'd want to do? Because I can't see the point of doing that. It's very weird. Because that each bag was individually tied and knotted. So the jury is coming back. My food should be here soon. I have some breaded chicken Alfredo tortellini coming. Where were they found again? The wallet and keys and her underwear drawer, and I think they said the back right corner under some fancy items.
Please be seated, Your Honor. The jury is all present and accounted for.
We are going to go back on the record and see 377289, State Matter versus Devyn Michaels. May the record reflect that Ms. Michaels is present with her attorney, Deputy District Attorney on behalf of the state, and both parties taking into the presence of our jury.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and sir, I just remind you that you are still under oath. Okay, Mr. Duskin, are you ready?
Mr. Willette, my name is Robert Draskovich. My partner, Mike Horvath, and I represent your wife. You and I have never spoken, have we?
No, sir.
You've never spoken with my investigator, Ken Hardy, have you? Investigator?
No, sir.
No. So this is the first time that we're actually having an opportunity to communicate, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, sir, if you just get a little closer to that microphone. Thank you.
You had testified today, fair to say, for the first time, that you had a relationship with your wife that went years back.
Yes, sir.
You'd been asked that by a lot of people, correct?
Yes, sir.
You'd been asked that before under oath, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you didn't tell the truth, did you? Sir, you were given copies of your prior statements in preparation for your testimony today, correct?
Yes, sir.
You were. You're a smart man, aren't you?
No, sir.
And you reviewed those copies of your statements and your testimony, correct?
Yes, sir.
Because you wanted to be prepared for today, correct?
No, sir.
I see.
Deputy, speak up for me, hold on.
You had testified today that you learned of your father's death for the first time about 1 o'clock on August 7th, 2023, correct?
Yes, sir.
You'd said, I believe it was your grandfather.
Yes, sir.
Now, you were interviewed by police just shortly after that, correct?
No, sir.
You were interviewed at 2:35 p.m. August 7th by Detective Ozawa.
Yes, sir.
He came to ask about you, your wife, stuff that was going on in the house and at the other house, correct? The Paladera house.
Yes, sir.
He asked you how you got along with your father, and you told him we never really got along, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's a little bit different than what you testified to today, correct?
No, sir.
It's the same, or it's different?
It's the same. I worked with my father.
I'm sorry, and this low voice, you can speak up, please.
I worked with my father, so we bumped heads on a lot of things, but it doesn't mean that I didn't love my father.
Okay, but the question is, how do you guys get along? And your answer is, we never really got along, correct?
Only overwork.
I'm sorry, sir, you have to speak up.
Only overwork.
Only overwork.
Yes, sir.
Well, it was just a few seconds after that that you said that you knew he was going to move in there, correct? And you didn't want to talk to him when he was at the house
No, sir.
on August 6th. You don't recall telling the detective that? I mean, you have this transcript that I'm going to start referring to. You referred to it and you reviewed it before and to prepare for today's testimony, correct?
Yes, sir. I was told shortly after his death that he was going to move in. Then I didn't know prior to that.
Counsel, I'm referring to page 4th.
All right.
I'm sorry, I'll start on page 3. I did see him here when he was unloading everything into the garage, but I just didn't speak to him. You're asked, okay, is that you guys just don't get along or just? And then you stated, we never really did. And the detective says, okay. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you say, so not to cause any complications here, because I know he was going to move in here. I just didn't want to talk to him.
That was after the death.
But you're talking about, you saw him the day before, he's moving stuff in, and you're not going to talk to him because you know he's going to move in, and you guys don't get along. You were talking to the detective about what was going on in your head the day before, correct?
No, sir. I was told that they were moving the desk and bunk bed into the house for the girls.
So when you're telling the detective on August 6th, I didn't go and talk to him because I never really got along with him. And I didn't want to cause any complications here because I know he was going to move in here. I just didn't want to talk to him. You're now under oath saying that meant something else?
No, sir. I'm answering your question. I was told after my father's death that he was going to move into the house, but I had no idea prior to that.
That's because you read your grand jury testimony, correct?
No, sir.
A little bit further down, same page. He wasn't really there for me, correct? I mean, you had resentment for your father, fair to say?
No, sir.
And then kind of realized who he was as a person. And when you were talking about moving out of Yoko's house, you said, I got out as soon as I could, correct?
Yes, sir.
Page 5, you're asked, and then I guess, so your mom tells us that he was going to move in here. What's that arrangement? And you said she was going to tell me to move out, or she was going to give me some time, but he needed to get out of Yoko's house, and she was going to let him stay here, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you were going to move out, and you say, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you're telling the detective who you speak to for the first time that you knew that Dad was pushing you out and that you were moving out of the house, correct?
I was told that the day before.
Oh, so now, you said before, until after your death, now you're agreeing you knew at least the day before that your dad was pushing you out of the house, correct?
No, I'm talking about the interview. So when I had the interview with Ozawa, that's when I found out everything prior to the interview.
But you're talking about not talking to him the day before because you know you don't want problems and you know that he's moving in.
That's right.
Page 6. So we don't get along. So she was giving me the heads up so I can move out. Correct?
No, sir.
You're saying no? And I won't misread anything. I mean, these are your words.
Can you repeat it?
So we don't get along. This is like the third time you're saying this. So she was going to give me that heads up so I can move out.
Yes, sir.
And then the detective asks, and this is the second thing about your marriage. He asks you about your marriage, correct? And you say, yeah, we're married.
Yes, sir.
Correct? And you tell the police officer that we're certified, but it's not like we're really. Because she has a whole bunch of health problems, all that stuff. Remember that conversation you had with the detective?
Yes, sir.
So he asked you, so it's just like worked out for like insurance, you're saying? And you say, well, not like anything bad, but like for the girls, correct?
Yes, sir.
That wasn't true, was it? Which you were telling the detective after you're saying that you learned for the first time that your dad's been murdered. What you told him about your marriage wasn't true, was it?
I was also drinking that day, I don't remember.
You've read through this transcript. You agree with me that
Great.
appear to be pretty coherent. Oh, but you're saying that you guys are married more out of convenience, not like you guys actually love each other. And you respond, yeah, we don't. It's not like that. It's out of convenience. Correct?
Yes, sir.
That was a lie, wasn't it?
No, sir.
So you're telling us that you were telling this detective the truth?
You just sleep in the same bed. It's fine.
Yes, sir.
Then the detective asks you, but do you guys sleep in the same room? And you say no, correct?
What are you guys saying? Are you saying is the stream up or not? Some people say it's buffering. I don't know. Okay, we're back. We're fine. Okay. Okay. All's good. All right. I paused it just in case. So, all right. We're all good. Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
You guys actually did sleep in the same room. You slept in the same bed, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
But when he asked if you two slept in the same room, you said no, correct?
Yes, sir.
Then he asks you, are you guys intimate at all? And you say no, correct?
Yes, sir.
That wasn't true, was it?
No, sir.
Fair to say that you were downplaying your feelings for your wife when this detective came to ask you about the murder of your father.
Yes, sir, because I didn't know what actually happened to my father.
Please say it again.
Yes, sir, because I didn't actually know what happened to my father.
Okay. But you're lying to the police officer about your relationship with your wife, correct?
Yes, sir.
So the detective, page 8. Okay, so then you knew he was moving in, and she told you that you were going to have to move out. And your response recently, yes. It was kind of a short notice, but yeah. And I mean, I know the person he is, so I was like, okay, whatever, I'll deal with it. That's what you said to the detective, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the detective follows up. Okay, and that's you were going to move out. Did he knew that you lived here, or didn't know that you lived here? And you respond, no, he knows I live here.
Everything is fine on my end. I'm very confused. Is it still buffering? Is it still black? Is it all working okay now? Because I'm a little confused in the chat here of what is happening. Because on my end, everything's good. So, all right. So Sam's is working. Let's get a few more comments here. Is it working for you guys? We're good. We're good. Okay. We're all good now. All right. Fantastic.
Correct?
My father?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
That I lived in Vegas?
No, that lived in that house. The detective asked him, does he know that you live here? And you say, yeah, he knows I live here. Correct?
Yes, sir.
You did confirm that you knew that she was going over there to your dad's house with the girls, correct?
Yes, sir. That was the joint custody that they had.
Yeah. And the detective, confirming that you know that he's moving in and that you're going out, asks, why was he moving out of the other house? And you said, because they all they do is scream and yell. When I was over there, my grandma would go downstairs at 6 in the morning yelling at him for the car payment, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you also say, I think my grandma was kicking him out, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's true. And trust me, I'm not going to tell you anything you didn't say, okay? I'm not trying to trick you. You're asked page 10 by Detective Ozawa, bottom of the page. Okay, so then how long has, I guess, it been planned for them to move John in over here? Your response, I have no idea. Like, it was ran by me that, because we all know how he is. And it's like, okay, if he's moving in here and if he's going to be homeless, I get it. I can move out and go somewhere because I have a legitimate job, correct?
Yes, sir.
So this isn't some one-off. You repeatedly confirmed to Detective Ozawa that your dad was moving in and that you were moving out, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you had the legitimate job, correct?
We both had legitimate jobs.
You had a good job.
His job is better than mine.
He was a mover, part-time, correct?
He did everything.
Your grandmother was always angry at him because she owed him money, fair?
Fair.
But you had a steady job at Hometronics, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So you had the good legitimate job that you were the one getting kicked out, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, you go on to state that you're a technician for Hometronics, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that you do security systems, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you install entertainment systems.
Yes, sir.
You told the officer that you'd been doing that for about 2.5 years, fair?
Yes, sir.
You were asked again by Detective Ozai, well, since you knew you were moving out, where are you going to move into? Where are you going to move to? And you tell him, and this is page 12, counsel. Yeah, like I have some friends down the street that I could roommate with, correct?
Yes, sir.
That made you angry, didn't it?
No, sir.
I mean, you've been in this house with your wife, your dad's moving in, and you have to leave. You're telling us that didn't make you angry?
No, sir.
I'm sorry, but I have a hard time believing that. I just do.
Now, today you testified that you'd worked the day before, August 6th, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you were actually off the day before, correct? You didn't work on August 6th.
I was drinking a lot. I don't remember.
But you would first tell the police officer, yeah, I worked yesterday, but then...
Sorry about that.
Is that better?
If you could just please repeat your answer. Trust me, I'm not trying... If you could speak up, please, and just repeat that last answer.
I was drinking a lot and I don't remember.
But you actually made the same mistake and initially told him I was working yesterday, but then you corrected yourself, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you really weren't drinking that much. Because you at first said, well, I worked yesterday, and then you said, oh, actually, you know what? It was my day off. Correct? Sundays are your days off.
That was 10 years ago and I was drinking very heavily for my father's death. So I don't.
You didn't die 10 years ago.
But sir, this conversation occurred August 7th, 2023. All right?
Sorry.
Or, I mean, you do... Fair to say, it hasn't been that long, has it?
Not 10 years.
Mm-mm. Me either, Sam.
In reference to the day before, August 6th, and you seeing them moving in, okay, because you actually didn't work the day before. You said, I heard the door open. I thought one of the girls opened the door, so I came down and looked out and saw him unloading stuff. And I was like, Oh, all right, whatever. So I closed the door, just didn't hear it, correct?
Yes, sir.
And at this point in time, you tell the detective that you actually don't have a room in the house, correct?
Yes, sir.
But that wasn't true. I mean, you were sleeping with your wife in the same bed, correct?
Yes, sir.
You said that your guy's a hot-tempered guy, correct?
Yes, sir.
His father.
Okay, you said your guy.
Yeah. You said he's like a hot-tempered guy, correct?
Yes, sir.
You said he had no filter, that kind of a guy.
Yes, sir.
Well, he wouldn't care if you were banging the mother of his children. That checks out.
You were asked, okay, so when you left Yoko's house, and that was a couple of years before, correct?
Yes, sir.
How often do you talk to him? And your answer was not at all, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the detective says, oh, and you say nothing. I mean, you say nothing, correct? Meaning you guys don't talk.
After he found out that we were married, we didn't talk after that.
Detective asks you, he didn't call you or nothing, and you said no, correct?
Yes, sir.
No text, nothing like that, and you said no, correct?
Yes, sir.
The detective then asks you about you speaking with him a couple of months ago, and what did that entail? Like, what were you guys doing at that point? You correct him and say, I didn't say I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then the detective says, I thought you said the last time you spoke with, like actually talked to him, was a couple of months ago. And you say, well, like it was probably years, correct?
Yes, sir.
You say, he doesn't call me on my birthday, not on Happy New Year's, like none of that. So not Thanksgiving, so we just didn't talk, correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh. So he wasn't really a dad to Devier, but now Devier.
And then you're asked by the detective, counsel is on page 18, is there anything you can think of that you haven't told me that you think might be important for us to know? And you say, correct?
Yes, sir.
So they're there trying to figure out this dynamic, and you've lied to them about the relationship that you have with your wife, and you've lied to them about the living arrangement where you're getting kicked out by your father, correct? He's moving you out.
Yes, sir, because I didn't know what exactly had happened.
You did say that it was kind of a shit show at the other house, correct?
Yes, sir.
Word of the day, shit show.
That wasn't the first time that you had discussed issues concerning this dynamic, correct? Concerning your wife, you, your father, the moving arrangements, correct?
No, no, sir.
You were interviewed another time, correct? By another officer. And you reviewed that in preparation, the transcript, in preparation for your testimony today.
Yes, sir.
That interview occurred September 12th, 2023, correct?
Yes, sir.
And this detective now, after speaking to you, and it's a little bit into the interview, tells you, well, you know, you weren't the main suspect. You know what I mean? This is, meaning the situation is a little different than hers. We're here to, you didn't do it, to clear you, correct? You recall that conversation?
When was this again?
I'm sorry?
When did this conversation happen again?
September 12th, 2023.
Yes, sir.
Remember that? I mean, you're there being interviewed concerning being a potential suspect, and you remember the date, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're being told now that we're working to clear you, correct?
Yes, sir.
You were relieved, fair to say?
Yes, sir.
The detective asks you, does that make sense? And you say it does, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then the detective says, the chances of you even being there are so slim that it's just, there's, that's not even on the radar, correct?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you had told law enforcement that you weren't close to Devyn. You didn't really have a real marriage. And things aren't that bad with your dad, and you're basically being told, hey, it's good. You're good, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, you're left there sitting for a little while, and the room's being recorded, and you say, this is going to be a fucking Netflix series, correct?
I don't remember
If I told you that you said that, would you have any reason to disagree with me?
that. I'm just letting you know I don't remember.
Okay.
Sir, you can just keep it.
Oh, sorry.
And before I forget, and I'm sorry for going back, but there was some discussion with Detective Ozawa about the problem the morning, August 7th, about your wife trying to register the girls. Your dad was supposed to have registered them, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's because they were moving into the house, and the girls were starting at that school, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that's, again, a confirmation that you knew. You knew that they were moving into the house. Correct?
Yes, sir.
You testified before a grand jury, a little different room, but you were put under oath and you were called as a witness on September 14th, just a couple days after that last interview, correct?
Yes, sir.
And under oath, you testified, like you did initially today, that you were unaware that your father was moving into the house, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that it was something that you had learned after your father's death, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that there were no discussions about you potentially moving out, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, that's exactly what you said, no, sir. There was never a discussion and you said, no, sir, but there were multiple discussions, correct?
So that I can remember this.
You were asked, were you estranged from your father? And you said, we didn't get along, correct?
Only while working, sir, yes.
I'm sorry?
Only while we worked together.
So you're still saying you guys got along just fine, but it was just work related?
Anytime I was with him, I had a good time.
I see. But you guys don't text, you don't call, correct?
Not after he found out I was married.
Today, now that she's on trial, you testified that you woke up at 2 o'clock on the morning of the 7th and she was in bed, correct?
Yes, sir.
But when you testified to the grand jury, you testified that you never woke up at all, correct? I'm referring to page 17, 18.
Yes, sir.
So your testimony is different again today on that point, correct?
Yes, sir.
Because obviously you waking up is kind of a big deal, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, you were actually awake at 2 a.m. on the 7th, weren't you?
I woke up to her getting in bed, and I looked over at her and saw that she got in bed, and I rolled back over and went to sleep.
You had been calling her that night from the home phone, correct? Well, she's with your dad.
We don't have a home phone.
Testimonies that you don't have a home phone. All right. So it's your testimony that you didn't call over and over again?
I believe I sent a text and she didn't reply, and then that's when I put the girls to sleep and I went to sleep myself.
But that wasn't the only night that she was out with your dad. She was with your dad till like 1 a.m. the night before, correct?
Possibly moving things, yes.
So 2 nights in a row, she's with your dad and she's not home, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, through the course of your grand jury testimony, you are asked by a grand juror, because unlike this, I mean, grand jurors can ask you questions, correct? I mean, that was your understanding. They spoke to you.
Yes, sir.
You were asked how long you and Devyn had been married, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you answered 3 years.
Yes, sir.
And then there's some follow-up questions. Just like to ask you a couple more questions about that. Did you and Devyn... I'm sorry, page 35. Did you and Devyn get married in the traditional sense? And you answered, yes, it was more of me helping out with the girls when she couldn't find a babysitter. So I figured, well, we both kind of sat and talked about it. When she has to go to work and can't find a babysitter, I could be there.
I could be
She
there.
also had a whole bunch of medical problems, and it was very expensive to keep the girls at daycare, and she's sitting in the hospital, so I would normally be there to watch them. And then there's a question, okay, and I'm sorry to ask, was an intimate relationship that you were in with Devyn at some point? And your testimony under oath to this grand jury on this day was, yes, after the first year it started to get intimate, correct?
Yes, sir.
After the first year of marriage, it started to get intimate, correct?
It does not say that.
The context of the question, I've read it, it speaks for itself.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the jury can determine what the context is, you just need to read it verbatim. So that objection will be sustained.
And if I may just read then for the record, I mean, this is prior testimony.
This is from the grand jury.
Correct.
What page are you on?
Page 35, I'll start at line 15, page 35, by juror. How long have you and Devyn been married? Answer, 3 years. Question. If I could ask you just a couple more questions about that, did you and Devyn get married in the traditional sense? Yes. Answer. But it was more of me helping out with the girls when she couldn't find a babysitter. So I figured, well, we both kind of sat and talked about it. When she has to go to work and can't find a babysitter, I could be there. She also had a whole bunch of medical problems, and it's very expensive to keep the girls at a daycare when she's sitting in the hospital, so I would normally be there to watch them. Question, okay, and I'm sorry to ask, was an intimate relationship that you were in with Devyn at some point? Yes, After the first year, it started to get intimate. Next question. Did it remain intimate up until the time of your father's death? Yes.
I don't know, Sam. 'Cause I'm suspicious.
You're getting closer to the truth of the nature of your relationship the farther it is that you get away from perhaps being charged with his murder. Fair to say?
Can you repeat the question?
You're getting more and more truthful concerning the nature of your relationship with Devyn the further it gets away from your having been charged or being charged. Fair to say?
Yes, sir.
You testified today that you didn't remember the date that you married her, correct?
Yes, Savage, that's exactly what, right. And she had medical problems, so, you know, getting married makes sense. I have lots of thoughts. Sure.
Your testimony that you don't remember marrying her on December 21st, 2021?
It was right before Christmas. You don't remember getting
Are
married.
these in stipulated? Yeah, thank you. There'll be exhibit numbers, but I'm going to show you some pictures, okay? And these were taken from your phone. From his phone.
Are those stipulated to?
Yeah, we have no objection. We just want a copy because
Absolutely.
we've just seen them, but
Okay.
I think we do for,
Objecting to this fact?
correct. I think,
Okay, well, let's just make the record for a second.
Yes.
What are the
Yes, they put them on.
numbers?
This is L3. It's been marked by your clerk. He was ahead of me, so thank you.
Right, but I think she can tell me what it is, so we can put it on the record.
Okay. L3.
It's L3?
Yeah, is that L3? Okay.
Okay, so, well, Mr. Drexel, what's it, if the whole packet's being circulated to, let's just admit the packet now, and then you
Okay.
can show any ones you want.
Okay.
So L3 to what?
Hang on just a second.
I don't think it's going to be an eggplant. It is.
A3 to S3.
Okay, A3 to S3 is an eventual search stipulation, and eventually publish them all.
And in the interest of time, and since these will go back, I'm not going to go through each and every one of them.
I don't think so.
She's not married and has 2 daughters, so I would think
We could
that-
please-
In the front?
Right here?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I have my finger over the button just in case.
Remember that date?
Oh, we're fine.
Okay. But you do remember marrying her, correct?
Yes, sir.
You know, when I do a sham wedding, I make sure to wear fancy
Remember
clothes.
this?
Yes, sir.
No, what exhibit was that?
This is exhibit K3. And we're going to be showing you L3. Remember this?
But they didn't even get married at a courthouse.
So, I mean, fair to say you and she had a traditional marriage, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
I mean, obviously it was a fairly passionate relationship, wasn't it?
Nope.
It got weird, yeah.
It got
I mean, for
weird.
good and bad, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's what he said. It got weird.
That she had sent you a text just days before this case began about get out of the house. Do you recall that? Get your stuff. Don't think of coming back. I want a divorce.
I don't remember anything like that.
He remembers nothing conveniently.
And you're still married to her, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's crazy.
After things went down in this case, you moved to California, correct?
Yes, sir.
Through the course of your marriage to her, you wore a wedding ring, didn't you?
In my time in Vegas, yeah.
And she wore a wedding ring too, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that was a symbol of the commitment that you had to each other, correct? Rings are.
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you what's been admitted, Defense Exhibit B3. That was the ring that she wore, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right, Buff? Does he know you can ask for a divorce when somebody's in jail? He isn't even like filed for divorce. That's weird.
You worked at Hometronics and you had tools, correct?
Yes, sir.
You were good at installing home security systems, correct?
Yes, sir.
You had hundreds of pictures on your phone of various systems that you installed, correct?
Yes, sir. After I was done with the job, I had to upload it to the Hometronics website to prove that I got the job done.
Weird, that's on your personal phone and not a work phone.
And Your Honor, this is Defense Exhibit
We have a company
it's like
card. but not a
B1 through
company
V2.
phone.
We're moving through the admission. These are just images of security systems.
B1 through B2.
I'm sorry,
B1 through
B1 through
V2. I
V2.
believe.
Oh, no objection.
Okay, B1 through V2 will be admitted.
And in going through these security systems, you obviously were conscientious of the angles, correct?
I would always ask how we set the camera up, and I would ask the customer to pull it on their phone and let me know what angle they would like it to be.
So you're familiar with security cameras and what they picked up and what they didn't.
Yes, sir.
And there's going to be a stack of these, but I'll just show you just for, like, Defense Exhibit K2. And we've got one right here. You can see that, correct?
Yes, sir.
You know what type of camera that is, correct?
A ring camera?
All right. Showing you Defense Exhibit D2. You got the ladder up on this. This is an exterior camera. You installed that one, correct?
Yes, sir.
You know what kind of camera that is, correct?
That's also a ring camera.
I mean, you were good at what you did, correct?
Yes, sir.
And installing the home entertainment systems, I mean, you used a Sawzall. You cut through 2x4s, you cut through drywall, things like that, correct?
Not 2x4s, it was just drywall.
Okay. But you had tools, you had saws, you had electric powered saws, correct?
No, just a drywall saw. That was in my bag
Okay,
for doing in-wall kits for TVs.
all right. And it's your testimony, Mr. Giordani asked you, it's your testimony that you didn't kill your father, is that correct?
I did not kill my father.
You left your home that night, didn't you?
Objection, what night?
The night of the 7th, well, early morning hours of August 7th, correct?
2023.
2023.
To go to work?
No, you left the house in the dark at 2 a.m., correct?
No, sir.
You'd been on your phone. You were looking at pictures of you and Devyn, correct?
I don't remember.
You left that home. You went to the Palo Verde residence, didn't you? The Palo Verde residence.
No, sir. If you're talking about the night that my father was murdered,
Yeah.
I was home with the girls. We watched a movie. I put them to sleep. I proceeded to text her, letting her know that I put them to sleep, and I went to sleep myself.
And that's your testimony under oath, correct?
Yes, sir.
like the testimony under oath that you've given to the grand jury previously, correct?
Yes, sir.
You'll agree with me that you'll lie under oath if it fits you.
No, sir. I became a very big alcoholic out there.
Okay.
So it doesn't. But I will answer truthfully to what I do.
But you'd agree with me that you were an alcoholic before that day and you had a drinking problem, correct? Before August 7th, 2023.
Yes.
In fact, it became a really big point of contention between you and your wife, correct?
Yes.
Oh.
The actions, correct? Things that you do, correct? She'd send you texts. I mean, she'd get angry about that, correct?
Yes, sir.
She'd tell you that you were turning into your father. Isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
And you resented that part of your father, didn't you? Because he did the same thing, correct?
No, sir.
And you'd agree with me that when you drink, you do things that you wish you didn't, correct?
Other than maybe throw up, no, sir.
It affected your judgment, didn't it?
No, sir.
Affects your memory, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
I have no further questions, but thank you.
No, no.
Can you read the rest of it?
Yes. Bear with me, Devier, I just got a few more questions.
Yes, sir.
I want to clarify a couple of things. So, Mr. Draskowitz started his questioning by asking you if you'd ever talked to him or his investigator or anything like that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Since after that jail call we heard, you moved to California, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you've maintained a job out there, correct?
Yes, sir.
Living a normal, or I guess relatively normal life.
Yes, sir.
You traveled here after we contacted you and said this trial's coming up and we need you to testify as a witness, correct?
Yes, sir.
You came here willingly.
Yes, sir.
You didn't make me go arrest you to bring me here, correct?
No, sir.
We flew you out and you came and you brought your girlfriend for support, correct?
Yes, sir.
And your girlfriend's the young lady sitting in the back of the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Is it easy for you to talk about your personal sexual life in front of all these strangers and that big old camera right there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yeah, we
tell
followed
me
that.
tell the jury. Was this a dynamic, untraditional relationship?
At first, it was just to help with my sisters, and things got a little weird, so in the beginning, no, and then at the end, yes.
Okay, and I'm not just talking about the marriage. I'm talking about since you were a 19-year-old kid having sex with your father's ex, or I guess live-in girlfriend at the time. You would agree that's not traditional.
Absolutely not. Yes.
You would agree that's not traditional.
Yes, sir.
You would agree that, you know, it's not the best look to do what you did.
Yes, sir.
Are you embarrassed of that?
Yes, sir.
But it happened, and you're acknowledging that, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that sexual relationship went on for an extended period of time.
Yes, sir.
Without going through all these exhibits, you would acknowledge and you understand that the detectives took your phone and took a whole bunch of other phones, correct?
Yes, sir.
And before you even took the stand in front of these people today, you know that we, all these lawyers, have access to your most personal, intimate conversations.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you doing your best to recall 2 years ago, back to 8 years ago, in front of this jury?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you say, sitting on the stand today, you say, I believe I worked on August 6th. Is that what you believe?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Mr. Draskowitz made a big point of this, and I want to address it real quickly. Page 13 of the voluntary statement of counsel. This is about working the day before. Actually, it's bottom of page 12. The detective asks you, okay, is that what time you got off? And I'm going to be exactly precise with the words from this transcript, okay? You respond, sometimes a little earlier. The detective asks, is that what time you got off yesterday? You respond, I got off yesterday.
Truthful with our relationship because I didn't know that my father was murdered, and I just didn't. I tried to feel some truths that I shouldn't be feeling.
Okay. So, do you even know at the time you're giving this interview that Nikki was a potential suspect?
I was unaware for the whole thing. I just didn't know why the cops were in the house.
Okay. Did there come a point in time in the intervening or the days after August 7th where you start to suspect she had something to do with it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was that easy for you to come to that understanding?
Absolutely not.
Okay. She was your wife. She is your wife.
Yes, sir.
You cared for 2 children together. You had a lot of sexual history with this person, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you want to see her go to jail or get arrested for this?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, and I should clarify. In the days where you're just suspecting and you're still kind of figuring out what's going on, did you want her to go to jail and lose her kids for this?
Once I found out after the news article, yes.
Okay, so once you find out what actually happened to your dad and you presume she did it, you want her to go to jail. Fair.
Yes, sir.
But before that, you're not in any of this interviews blaming it on her.
Based on the age
correct?
of the
We
girl,
agree
I'd
there.
say like
Yes, sir.
at least.
You're not saying she must have done it. You're just giving history.
Yes, sir.
You minimize your relationship. We can agree.
Yes, sir.
Okay. With regard to the questioning Mr. Draskovich went through with the when you learned your dad was moving into the Porcupine Room address. I want to talk about this for a moment. Before I get into the transcript, as you sit here right now, when is it that you think you learned that your dad was moving into the residence?
It was talked about before. I drank a lot. According to the paper, I did know about it apparently, but
Okay.
I didn't think it was actually going to happen.
Okay. So, and bottom of page 8. I'm going to read verbatim. You are asked about line 300, counsel. Okay, so then you knew he was moving in and she told you that you were going to have to move out, period. You respond, recently, yes. It was kind of a short notice, but yeah, period. And, period, I mean, period, I know the person he is, so I was like, okay, whatever, I'll deal with it, period. They then ask, okay, and you were going to move out. Did he knew that you lived here or didn't know that you lived here? You responded, no, he knew I lived there. Detective says, and then, ... and you continue and you say, but since I didn't talk to him and she was going over there for the girls and him, I kind of stayed away. I guess they would talk about it and she ran it by me. I drink a lot, so she ran it by me apparently, and I was gonna move out for a short period of time until he got on his feet and I was gonna come back. Does that sound accurate? Do you dispute what is in the statement? Does it sound accurate?
Yes, sir.
You're not disputing what's in the statement.
No, sir.
So even back then, you're telling them, like, I drink a lot. She apparently told me this.
Yes, sir.
As you sit here right now, do you 100% remember when you learned your dad was going to move in?
No, sir.
Okay. Had you known beforehand, before his death, would that have caused you to fight him, hurt him, kill him?
No, sir.
Would you have had any reason to kill him?
No, sir.
Did you want out of this relationship with Nikki at varying points of time?
Yes, sir.
And so had your dad moved in and you've been told you gotta go stay at a buddy's house or move out or whatever, would that have been a big deal for you at the time?
Absolutely.
Does anybody believe him? Just wondering.
All right, thank you, Debbie. I pass the witness.
Any of the brief comments, Mr. Winchester?
Yes. This whole issue about the sexual relationship that you had with Devyn, beginning when you were 19, you didn't speak to the prosecutor or anybody about that until yesterday, correct?
Yes, sir.
You watched this opening statement, didn't you? Our opening statement, where we laid out what was in the phones. Isn't that right?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, you watched the opening statement in this case, didn't you?
What was the opening statement in this case?
You don't know what an opening statement is, or the opening statement?
I don't record all
I see. So she's on trial, you're in California, or you're getting here, and you didn't watch this?
I seen the YouTube video.
Then you talked to the prosecutor about these issues, correct? So you watched the YouTube video, you watched the opening statement, correct? And you adjusted, isn't that right?
What do you mean by adjusted?
You know, you received a couple of texts from your father. (10/24/2022). You have nothing to tell me? WTF. I thought you were my seed. If what I know, I can't fuck with you. And he sent you another one a moment after that. Devil shit, correct?
Yes, sir.
I have no further questions.
But that was not happening.
What YouTube video did you see and when did you see it?
It was earlier in the year. I think it was about the custody case. It wasn't about this one.
Okay, so that line of questioning just now was a bit misleading, so let me clarify something.
I'd object. The question was clear. It's whether his answer, I think, is misleading. So.
Mr. Giordani's objection, Mr. Giordani's characterization is going to be sustained. Mr. Giordani, if you think something needs to be clarified for this jury, you can ask a clarifying question.
Okay. So the way, maybe I mischaracterized or misunderstood the question. I thought the question was, did you watch a YouTube video last night of the opening statement that happened in this trial?
No, sir. I'm sorry. The video that I had witnessed was over the custody case, I believe.
Yeah, like months ago, correct?
Yeah, earlier this year.
Did you watch any footage from this trial before hitting the stand?
No, sir.
Okay. So what you're
I'll find that
testifying to is
video.
not based on something Mr. Draskevich said yesterday or the day before. Because you wouldn't know what he said, correct?
Yes, sir.
And when we met last night, I told you, I'm not going to tell you what anybody said in court. I want to hear the truth, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I said the most important thing is to tell the truth, correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you doing that?
Yes, sir.
Pass witness.
Any follow-up, Mr. Justice?
You're capable of not quite telling the truth when it's to your benefit. Fair to say?
I just didn't understand the question. I'm sorry.
I see. You reviewed those transcripts prior to your testimony today, correct?
Yes, sir.
When you spoke with investigators from the district attorney's office in preparation for this trial, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
They went through what your testimony was going to be. They went through what your statements were going to be, correct?
Yes, sir.
They provided you transcripts of your prior statements, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it wasn't until last night that you talked about having this sexual relationship with your wife. About 19, correct?
Yes, sir.
And just last night's the first time you talked about it, just so we're clear, correct?
Talk to him.
The prosecutor about this relationship that you had with Devyn. Last night was the first time, correct?
He is up there.
Yeah, but no, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. With Devyn, you spoke with Mr. Giordani last night for the first time, correct? About your relationship with Devyn Michaels. Going back to 19, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Any problems?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just got to clarify, just so everyone understands. You testified at a prior proceeding where I questioned you, the grand jury thing that we were talking about earlier.
Yes, sir.
And you talked about the relationship and you said it was sexual after the first year and it went up and until your dad's death.
Yes, sir.
That's back in September of 23.
Yes, sir.
Last night, you flew in out of state, you came with your girl, and you met with us with a witness present, a guy with a badge. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I don't know if it was meant to be suggested this way, but what I heard was they told you what to say or something like that?
I object to that. No, I didn't. That wasn't my
Okay.
question, so that was
Okay.
not, okay.
So we asked you questions, correct?
Yes.
And I told you, I can't tell you anything that's happened in court. That would be unethical, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I told you to tell the truth.
Yes, sir.
Pass witness.
Any follow-up, Mr. Jeffries?
Just so we're clear, I'm not accusing him of any wrongdoing. I'm just saying yesterday was the first time that you had a discussion about having a relationship with your wife, a sexual relationship, from the time you were 19, correct?
No, sir. It sounds like I was already interviewed about it and I talked about it.
I read you your grand jury transcript. No, that was in the context of your marriage. You never testified before the grand jury about having a sexual relationship with your wife that began when you were 19, correct?
Yes, sir.
I have no further questions.
Any follow-up, Mr.
No,
Jeffries?
thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the jury have any questions for this witness? Okay, seeing no response. Sir, you are excused. Thank you very much for your testimony.
No jury question. Probably means they're wrapping it up.
You can come down now.
Counsel could approach.
Gonna get staticky. Brace yourselves. Oh, thank you, camera guy. Thank you. Hold on, let me turn down this volume a little bit so I don't sound all crazy. Oh my gosh, do I have so much stuff to say about this guy? Everybody's raising their hands. We have questions. We have so many questions. I'm sorry, but this guy did himself no favors, and I don't think the state's questioning did him any favors whatsoever at all. What a tangled web of lies and deceit.
We are going to take our nighttime recess. During this recess, you must not discuss or communicate with anyone, including fellow jurors, in any way regarding this case or its merits, either by voice, phone, email, text, internet, or other means of communication or social media. You must not read, watch, or listen to news or media accounts or commentate on it. You must not do any research, such as consulting dictionaries, using the internet, or using reference materials. You must not make any investigation, test the theory of the case, recreate any aspect of the case, or in any other way investigate or learn about the case on your own. You must not form or trust anything regarding this case until it's finally submitted to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be in recess until tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Oh,
All rise for the jury.
we're going to be having a big kid day of court tomorrow. Okay.
Please leave my chair.
All right. So jury told to be back at 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is noon Eastern our time. So finally, we might get like a whole full day of court as they wrap up there. Okay, let's talk about this, okay? Because I'm sorry. I have a really hard time believing this guy. And I mean, there's some valid reasons, right? He says that he had a drinking problem. He had a drinking problem before. He had a drinking problem after. I mean, we all know that can cause some issues, both in memory, but also controlling your emotions. It didn't sound like his dad was very happy when he found out that they were married. And he's going to live in the house. Now Devyn has to leave. I mean, they did not do this kid any favors. Sorry. He's just now just as probable as her, in my opinion. if not, maybe even more motive. Just not remembering really important things. So let me get this straight. You marry Devyn, whatever her name is, to help babysit the kids, and because she had medical issues. That doesn't even make any sense why you would get married, first of all. Two, you can't even remember the date you got married to a woman you had been with for at least 6 years. The only time you've ever been married, which is right before Christmas, and you can't even remember the date? You can't remember how old your little sisters / stepdaughters are? You've been helping raise them for this whole time, really, that they've been together, even if it's on and off again. Terry says, I think she groomed him to some degree. Sure, I will definitely agree with that. We don't know exactly when her and Johnathan got together, but based on the girl's age and his age, I'm going to go with he was probably like maybe 14 or 15 when her and Johnathan got together. I don't know that for sure. I don't think they've actually said a specific year. Well, we know 15 and 16, 2015, 2016 is where the eggplant pictures come from. But he was an adult then, so he was 19, 20. Okay. So I don't know. He doesn't remember what he did that day. Oh, I went to sleep in our room that night. And then I woke up at 2 and there she was. He said that they didn't have a home phone, which I swear they mentioned having a home phone in opening statements. I don't know, you guys. Like, he said, oh, my dad wouldn't care, but then literally talks about how hot-headed and angry his dad could easily get. Listen, all right, if somebody's like that as a person over the littlest things, you're telling me that you didn't think he would give a shit that you were now in a relationship and married and banging the mother of his children. I'm pretty sure that a guy, for sure, under normal circumstances would be irate, let alone somebody who has anger issues. He said, oh, me and my dad's relationship wasn't bad. Sure, sounds not great to me. He complained about how his dad didn't do anything for birthdays or holidays, yada, yada, yada with him. And yet he's raising his dad's kids. I mean, I'm sorry, but we've seen enough true crime that, like, this is almost textbook at this point with this guy. I mean, how convenient. He doesn't really remember a whole lot. Oh, I didn't know he was moving in. Yet there were text messages where he clearly knew. And he said on the stand, yeah, I knew. After like being up there for an hour, being asked the same thing time and time again. And then he's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Oh my gosh. So he did know that his dad was moving in. Yes, he finally admitted it on the stand. I don't remember the exact questioning it was. It was something like, it was like right before they read, I feel that text messages that his dad had sent him, basically how disappointed he was to find out that they were married. But it said something about like, oh, you had conversation. Oh, I know what it was. He got him to admit it because the girls were going to be enrolled in a new school because John and the girls would be moving in. So that would put them in a different school district. And the attorney brought up to him, so you know that the girls were going to be enrolled in this new school. You were very aware of the custody situation between John and Devyn. You knew that the girls could only go to school if John lived in the house because he had custody, right? And he was like, yeah, I know. I did know. So you did know, because this wasn't just like a day, like, oh, I don't know. He doesn't remember half the questions. Okay. Savage says, fuck, man, it's a mystery. It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma. That it is. That it is. I mean, I'm going to go back this weekend and go over this day for sure. just trying to like piece together more what he said, because I know it was hard for a lot of people to hear, which is, I don't know why it's so. My son has a very low voice too that I can barely register, but like they had this guy like making out with the microphone and it didn't even do anything. Sam said, exactly. If that's the reason for them being married, why didn't she just stay married to the dad and they did their own thing? She was never married to the dad. John and her were never married. Just her and Devyn, which also, why haven't you divorced her? Like, I don't understand why he hasn't filed for divorce. She's been in jail since 2023. You think she murdered your dad and cut off his head. Why have you not filed for divorce from this woman? And you have a girlfriend, and her whole family is in the courtroom with you. I'm sorry, but that's already red flags for me for that girl. Whew. Yeah, yep. And the grandma kicking the dad back out, oh, and he was like, oh, we never thought about anything except work stuff. Really? I mean, come on. I just don't understand why you want to skirt around stuff. And let's be honest here. Like, yeah, it sounds like you guys didn't get along. That's fine. Instead, you're being very dodgy with questions, not giving answers that you very much should know the answers to as a 29-year-old male. Okay. I mean, you're a grown adult at this point. Maybe if he was like 21, 22, fine. I'll give him, the age excuse, but you're 29 years old. All right. I understand this has been traumatic for you, but if you want, I just don't understand. I just don't understand how he didn't know what he did at any point in time before, during, after. Does not look good. He does not look good in my eyes at all. What'd she say? For the sake of keeping the family together and healthy for the kids by scratching each other's backs with finances being shared and just keep it business oriented other than the kids, right? That's not at all what happened. Not at all. They slept in the same, like, again, I mean, yeah, it doesn't look great that you married her, but oh, I see some ambulances, flashing lights. I wonder what that's about. Yes, he was a very major mumbler. Buffy says, well, they obviously didn't stay married for spousal privilege since he testified against her. Yeah, I mean, I think, because can't you waive it? Like, that's the thing, is they can't force you to testify, but do you have to actually waive it, like, formally? I wonder. I don't know. Angie said John's mom seemed really calm when she found him. I mean, I agree. It did sound kind of weird. Also, she just said that there was blood, and didn't she say like his face was missing? Though we did know that English is not her first language, so there is that language barrier, which, okay, fine, fair. But then he said he got, Devyn says, oh, I got a text that morning, I think from Yoko's boyfriend, saying your dad's had an accident and he's in the hospital. That literally never happened. We know that never was the case. And then he gets another one saying, oh, your dad didn't make it. They knew as soon as they were in the house that they weren't going to be taking him to the hospital. So I'm a little confused by those text messages. Sam says he was trying to distance himself, or in my opinion, that's how it came off. I mean, yeah, but that's not doing great. He did nothing to convince me that he wasn't in some way involved. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm not saying 100% I think he is, but did not do himself any favors. Wonder if he got a deal? Not that I know of. The state is hell-bent on he had nothing to do with it at all. And I don't know. Buffy says, although I'm not sure he was actually testifying against her as much as trying to clear his name with the jury. Yes, but talk about a liar, liar, pants on fire. And then when they would say, oh, were you lying? He'd be like, well, I don't know. I drink a lot. So I don't remember, which is not something you want to admit on the stand, that you can't remember because you were drunk. Because what you're saying is you may not remember what you did on the night of August 7th. So I don't know why. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea, to be honest. Tracy says, what if he's staying married? So if he gets charged, he can't force her not, or he can force her not to talk. I mean, maybe. Privilege is, Lady in Gray says, privilege is for what a spouse says, not necessarily what they do. I don't know. I don't really know much about spousal like privilege. Oh, that's my dog. I thought I saw something fuzzy. It was just my dog. I don't really know I don't think I've ever seen it really used in my trial watching. So Tracy says, at this point, I feel like they did it together. I mean, maybe. Bye, Dave. Thanks for being with us. Have a good night. Kelly P says, what's the alibi? His alibi? That he was home, asleep, while she was out with his dad, moving things around, which doesn't even make any sense. She had been helping him move stuff around the last couple of days. But remember, he wants you to know several times that he didn't know his dad was going to be moving in. I don't know. I don't know. Very, very interesting stuff here. Lady in Gray says, him being involved doesn't mean she isn't guilty, but the defense is doing a great job confusing the issue. That they are. And he did not do himself any favors. I mean, to me, it's likely it could be one, both, or both of them. I mean, even hell, apparently him and his Yoko and John, Yoko, and her boyfriend, apparently they were yelling at each other all the time. Just saying, there's a lot of family stuff going on. As the attorneys like to say, a family shit show is what this is. Buff says, right, which is why I think he knows more than he's saying. Not necessarily that he did something. I mean, I don't know. It's not looking good. I'll put it this way. He did not convince me that he had nothing to do with it. That's for sure. Buff says, but I do think he did something. Tell me lies, sweet little lies. Yeah. He is something else, but we'll definitely talk more about him tomorrow. Family of bullshitters, right? I mean, think about it. And then what was done to his body. I don't know. We see that kind of stuff all the time, so hard to say. It's not out of the realm. But you guys, I appreciate you being here with me today. Now, tomorrow, court is going to start 12 p.m. Eastern, my time. West Coasters, that's 9 a.m. for you. So we will be here at that time. I'm about ready to get off of here to take a quick 5-minute getting ready break. And then we're going to be starting True Crime and Wine Time, where we're going to be covering the disappearance of the Skelton brothers. You guys do not want to miss that. You guys are even going to be portaled right over there, and we'll be on about like 5 minutes or so. And she says they haven't proved she did it at this point anyway. No, I agree. But she was like the last one there, so we'll see. Oh yes, don't you worry. I don't know if I'll be able to get the screenshots in time for tomorrow, but I'm going to get them of the letters, and we will be reading the letters at some point, or her diary, whatever it is. So I'll definitely try to get that together for us. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being with me today. A lot of fun, as always. This case is the case that keeps on giving. I'll tell you what. I'm surprised they were done with him already. to be quite honest. I thought the lawyers would try to keep him overnight just so they had a fresh opportunity for some questions, but whatever. Anywho, you all have a great rest of the night. I hope to see you all over on True Crime and Wine Time. And again, like 5 minutes will begin. So thank you all so much. If I don't see you, I'll see you tomorrow, and go forth and be amazing. Bye, guys.